What's going on, everyone? My name is Steve, and today we're going to be unboxing the Keychron K10 Pro. This is a full-size mechanical keyboard, so stay tuned if you're interested in mechanical keyboards, or even if you don't know a lot about them. I learned a lot when researching this keyboard, and so I'm going to try to present some of that information that I learned in this video. So if you're interested in learning more about mechanical keyboards, stay tuned and enjoy the unboxing. So before we get started, I want to go over some of the features and some of the reasons that I decided to purchase this keyboard, specifically the K10 Pro. If you just want to see the unboxing and you just want to see what it looks like, I'll put a timestamp right here, and you can go to that timestamp and that'll just be the unboxing. But right now, before we unbox, I want to go into some of the features that this keyboard has and the reasoning behind why I decided to purchase it. Okay, so first and foremost, two of my must-have features for a mechanical keyboard are it has to be full-sized. As an engineer, as a programmer, I really need all the function keys, and I really like to have the numpad. If I'm going to spend $100 on a keyboard, I want to have all the keys. I don't want to have, some of the keys. I know the small keyboards look nice, but I just need a full size. So that was my number one must-have, and the second must-have is that it must have hot swappable switches. So what hot swappable switches mean are, you see these keys here? Underneath the keys are going to be switches that are going to compress when you press on the key. If they are not hot swappable, it means that those switches are soldered to the motherboard. So if it turns out that one of the switches break, you can't replace it easily, at least without desoldering it from the motherboard. If it turns out you don't like the switches you chose, or if you just don't like the way it feels and you want to try a different color switch, again, if it's not hot swappable, you have to basically get an entirely new keyboard. And I wanted the ability to A, fix my keyboard if one of the switches break, and B, I wanted the ability to try different switches if it turns out that I don't like the switches I chose. Some other really nice to have features on this. It does have RGB. It says it's south-facing RGB lights, which I guess means it might not shine through the keycap, but it is going to shine underneath the keys. I don't know. We'll check out how that looks. This is wireless and wired. So I didn't realize I wanted it until I read about it in the description. It's a wired keyboard, meaning that you plug it into your computer and it just works like a normal keyboard. But if you unplug it, it'll also function as a Bluetooth keyboard, and I believe it supports pairing with up to 3 different Bluetooth devices. And so primarily this is going to be docked at my office computer, or at my home office computer. But if I do want to take it to work, or if I do want to take it into my living room and hook it up to my TV, I can do that because it also functions as a Bluetooth keyboard. And yeah, lastly, it's just a nice looking keyboard. It also, if you see right here, it says an open source customizable keyboard. This is something that I just learned about, but it's, again, just another bonus. This runs open sourced firmware. My understanding is it's something called QMK, or Quantum Mechanical Keyboard something or other. So what QMK is an open source firmware, meaning that you can program anything you want on these. So without any further delay, let's start unboxing the Keychron K10 Pro full-size mechanical keyboard. So on the front, we have it looks like a little wireframe drawing of the keyboard with all the keys. On the bottom, we have the serial number and some other information. As you see, I got these with the brown switches. This is hot swappable, RGB backlit, very cool. On the top, nothing new here. Let's flip this over. So on the back, we basically have a lot of the information that I just told you about, reasons why I decided to get the keyboard. It's full size, compatibility with multiple devices. I'm only using Windows, but at least it is compatible with other operating systems. Open source firmware. I'm not sure too much about the screw-in stabilizer, but we'll have to check that out when we open it and see what that means. So I think that's pretty much it. I don't see much more that we have to look at on the outside of the box. Let us try opening the inside of the box. Okay, so let me get my little jerry rig knife over here, and let's try to... Okay. Let's open up the keyboard. Okay, let's flip this over. Here goes nothing. It's getting there. There we go. Let's toss this over to the side. We have this sheet of foam right on top. Let's move this over. Let's see, quick start guide. So it says if you are a Windows user, please find the appropriate keycaps in the box. Gotcha. So they have option and this little command key here and control. And so you can swap out those keys. So this is number 1. Okay, so this is like the quick start guide. So the first one tells you how to connect Bluetooth. Then it shows you how to connect the cable. Let's see what else it shows. Okay, how to download the remapping software. Backlit. Okay. Siri and Cortana. Watch the building tutorial if you're building your first keyboard. Well, we're not building this, but I probably will end up watching the video because I am interested in this. Then it talks about layers. This is really cool. This I'm interested in. So there are 4 layers of key settings. Gotcha. So I'll have to experiment with this. I don't know enough about layers to really talk about it. Brightness, we've got a warranty, and if we want to factory reset the device, that is the option. So it goes over all the different things, pretty much everything. So this is a pretty helpful guide, actually. I'll keep this for a little bit. Okay, it says make sure your pins are straight before inserting switch. Okay, don't expect this to be too much of a problem for us because this is already pre-built. But if I do end up taking some of these switches out, which maybe I'll try doing, the switches have to be straight. So this is not how to do it, and this is how to do it. Please be gentle and make sure that the pins are to align the pins with the socket properly. Makes sense. So before we dive into the keyboard, I want to go into, okay. So we have the, looks like it's a USB-C keyboard. So this doubles as a USB-C cord. And I guess this is what is going to connect the keyboard to the computer. It's probably going to charge it as well. I've read some complaints online that this is short, but so far this looks good. For me, it looks fine at least. You may need to get a larger cord if it doesn't fit your needs. We also have, okay, yes, we've got some extra keycaps. These are the Windows ones, which we'll try replacing later. Let's see what else we got up here. Okay, so this is a, it says Keychron, but I know I can tell you that this is a key puller. So this will be to pull the keycaps out. Is there a switch puller in here too? Let me see. Okay, this is probably the switch puller. So after we pull out a keycap, we can pull the switch out and swap it out with a different switch. Okay, probably the cord was in there. Let's see. Very cool. We've got an Allen key and we've got a little screwdriver. So is that everything? Let's see what's down here. Looks like it's everything. Now, here's the moment we've all been waiting for. So let's pick this up. Okay. And my first impressions are that this is pretty heavy. I gotta be honest. I was expecting it to be a lot lighter than this. So, wow. Just looking at the thing, my very first impressions are, this is a nice looking keyboard. I really like the looks. From online, it looked like these were, I don't know, gray, which I guess they are, but in person it looks like it's like a bluish gray. I can't quite describe it, but I like the look of it. Something interesting is that the words are really big on here. I kind of wasn't expecting that, or I'm not used to it. Like backspace is huge. To me, it's just it's big lettering. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just observing. I like the choice for them to put the enter key and the escape key as red. Maybe I'll buy some additional keycaps to make some others red too, some commonly used keys. I know some gamers like to have the WASD, maybe a different color. We'll see what I decide. So I really like the color scheme so far. Now there are these buttons up here. I don't know what these do. I'm really interested, but this gives me a PlayStation vibe. I mean, right? These are the buttons that are on the PlayStation controller. So very cool. I'm assuming these have something to do with the custom firmware or maybe the different layers. We'll find out later. Okay, let's see. So let me try clicking some of the buttons. Okay, so this is a keyboard, and it definitely feels like that. It feels nice so far. I obviously haven't done any real typing on it yet, but first impressions are good. I'll probably put my mic closer to the keyboard, maybe a little bit later in the video, to get some nice quality sounds out of this, and maybe I'll do a key comparison as well. But so far, my first impressions are good. Yeah, I mean, it looks nice so far. Let's look at the bottom. So the bottom, it looks like we've got like some sort of serial number. And oh, this is pretty cool too. So it looks like you can give it some tilt, but if it's too tilted for you, what you could do is there's a second option. So if you want it to be just a little bit tilted, you could use this. If you want it to be very tilted, you could do that. So that's cool. Let me try the middle one first, see how that works. Okay, let me try the full-size one. Yeah, I'll probably keep it on this setting. A couple other things. If you look on the top, it appears, let's see. So we have an option here, whether you have it on cable or Bluetooth. There's an option here, whether you have it on Mac OS or Windows/Android. Oh, it says Mac/iOS, so that's cool. So if you want to use this with your iPad or maybe even your phone, this may work. And then it's got there the USB-C. So far, so good. Let's try taking out one of these switches. Well, actually, after all, right, I'm going to be using this on a Windows computer, so I may as well swap out these switches now. So let's see. So on a Windows computer, instead of Option, it's going to be a Windows key. And instead of this, which I think is Command, it's going to be Alt. And the same thing here is going to happen on the other side. So it's going to be, this is the function key. So I think it's going to be, this is going to be Alt, and this is going to be, is this going to be the Windows key? Is there usually two Windows keys? I'm not actually sure right now. Hold on. Function, Option. I'm trying to think. Are there two Windows keys? Oh, I guess there are. I didn't even realize that there were two Windows keys on a keyboard. So very cool. So let's try to pop one of these out and try it. So let's try all the way on the right. Let's try the Option key first. So let's put this here. Okay. And here we have the brown switches. Okay. And then let's pop on the Windows key. That was easy. Okay. Let's try to do the other key. Let's see. Pop it out. Okay. Let's do this key over here. Let's do this. Okay. Let's put the Alt here. And let's put the Windows key. Excellent. So far so good. Let me put these back in the bag, and then let's maybe try it out on a computer. Maybe I'll bring my laptop in here so we could see how it looks. All right, so let's now try and see what happens when we plug it in. So let me undo the little cable tie. Oh, I'm on Mac OS mode. Okay, let me do Notepad. Okay, let's say wow, that feels nice. Let me try lowering my microphone closer to the keyboard so you can get a better sound of how it sounds. So there you have it, everybody. This was the unboxing of the Keychron K10 Pro. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed the unboxing. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.